But let's get to the latest on the situation on the ground. Vanessa Poonah is part of our team at the site. She joins us now live. And Vanessa, it's now 5 days since the structure collapsed. Hope is slowly dwindling, depending who you ask. The developers are nowhere to be found, but that painstaking task of trying to find survivors continues.
Indeed, Ayanda, and we are standing here at the site at the moment. Of course, a short while ago, there was a call again, a siren calling for silence at the site as efforts are underway to ascertain whether any sounds are coming from beneath the rubble here at George Victoria Street. We can tell you that heavy equipment has been brought in, excavators, etc. I think behind me you'll see that they're starting to move again with the operations. I'm joined now by the MEC for Local Government in the Western Cape, Anton Bredal. Minister, good morning to you. Of course, just that moment of silence there. Let's just reflect on that. It has been ongoing since Monday afternoon. Just explain to us again, for the benefit of our viewers, what happens at the time when the siren goes off and a call essentially for silence.
Good morning. Well, when that siren goes off, there's a sign of hope. It's normally when one of our spotters on the site detect a noise or a sound, and then they call in the dogs. And then if the dogs pick up a smell, something, they will send in specialized equipment, cameras, sound equipment to detect if there's really a sound. They will try to talk to people. And if they can pinpoint the sound, they will obviously focus the operation on that. If not, they continue. So they've now started the big machines again, and you can see we pull out the iron rods, and so it's a tedious operation, but it's necessary. And we keep on hoping for a miracle, but the teams will work day and night to clear the site.
Minister, of course, we can understand that members of the community as well as family members are feeling frustrated at the moment. Of course, 44 people still unaccounted for. I mean, just this morning, I spoke to some residents. One of them actually was a civil engineer, but he came here just outside the cordoned off site as a concerned member of the George community. Of course, it's 5 days in. You say that we remain hopeful, but of course, we've now surpassed that 72-hour international standard in terms of, searching. I mean, can we safely say that this is still a search and rescue effort? Has it officially moved over to a recovery effort at this stage?
Well, we try to run both. You must understand the 72 hours is a guideline. If you look back in the history in certain earthquake sites after day 9, they've managed to rescue people, an 80-year-old person, etc. So we keep on hoping. Hope keeps the spirit alive, keeps everybody here's morale up. But we understand that we will find more bodies as we go along. Unfortunately, one person last night passed away in hospital. Our thoughts and prayers are with that family. We understand the frustration of the family and their emotions from anger to hope. And therefore we've got specialists to work with them from social services as well as correctional social services as a whole team. We've picked up late that there's a big translation issue, so we've got the embassies now involved from Malawi, from Mozambique, from Zimbabwe to come and help with the translation, come and look also after their people. The identification process was a very difficult process. There's people around just around this corner with boards, because normally on the site they talk to one another on a nickname basis and to determine exactly who's who. They've got a person that works on the site. We managed to pull his wife out, and he's also here helping to the identification of people. And it's a long process, but that's the necessary process. We will keep on searching, but it's more and more also recovery.
And then also just, bigger equipment, heavier equipment being brought in. I mean, I'm just looking at the site behind me. Of course, you mentioned the steel rods, etc. Still thousands of tons of concrete here at the moment. The focus for today's efforts, I mean, can you talk us through what the process will be, how it will unfold for today in terms of on the site?
Well, it's to move as much as possible of the concrete and the bricks and the iron on the site, to open up corridors, and there's 3 corridors One is from the back. They're going to open that one up because we found 3 storage rooms or 4 storage rooms, and if you can look at the plans, you can see the storage rooms, and they're all empty, so we can open up and then work from that side. The front here, you can also see there's a corridor because of how the concrete slab originally fall. It's like an A-frame it forms. They sent in the cameras and the dogs. There's nobody there, so they're going to open up from the front and they will work towards the middle. And that's what's going to happen as quickly as possible.
And then just lastly, of course, I'm speaking to you ahead of the arrival of the National Minister of Health. He is expected to visit the site and also various hospitals. And also we understand that the Premier is having a briefing, a sort of joint briefing taking place at 1 o'clock this afternoon in terms of the operations here and also how far we are with those rescue and recovery efforts.
Yeah, more or less. The Minister will attend to JOC, the Joint Operations Centre, the Command Centre. We prefer to take the people there because we've got the overarching view and we can show them how this whole situation unfolded up till now. And then we will bring them to the site, we will walk them in, but we must still remember this is a crime site and a disaster site. So therefore, there's a lot of tape. There's certain areas that we can move, others not, because we need to protect the site so that everybody can do their investigations. We had forensic teams, engineers from SABC, our own engineers taking samples, working last night on the site. Even the removal of the rubble, it's coordinated, layer per layer. It's not just dump on a dumping site. It's put there and it's marked so that people can do their testing. The Department of Labour will work on that. So everybody is doing what they should do, and we really hope for a miracle as we move along.
Just finally, Minister, I know you have that JOC meeting to attend to. In terms of this being a crime scene, there were concerns around reaching the developers, reaching the role players. Can you give us an update as of this morning, what that process is, whether you've managed to get hold of people? I understand that a subpoena was also sent in terms of, the role players here. What is an update with that regard?
Yeah, it's because it's different departments, different sectors, everybody fulfill their own role. So the Department of Labour got a subpoena to get into the site's office to get the paperwork, etc. So that's part of their process. I don't want to talk to the developer because we need to stay independent. The people must do their work, and then we will deal with the outcome of the forensic investigation and of the report from our engineers. Police SABC will do their thing, and at the stage they will need to talk to the developer, they will need to talk to the contractor on site and to the site engineer, etc. And they will follow their legal process to hold them accountable.
One of the worst construction disasters in the Western Cape in quite a few years, you would say?
Well, the worst that I've seen, but we've also, yesterday the Premier had a meeting with the construction industry in the Western Cape. They're also very upset. It should not happen in any way, and how we can take hands to prevent this going forward, and therefore the investigation is crucial. It's crucial that it's independent also from the industry side so that everybody can learn lessons.
Minister, thank you so much for your time this morning. Of course, the MEC Minister for Local Government in the Western Cape, Anton Bredell, giving us an update with regards to what is expected to happen on site here for the rest of the day, and also just throwing forward to the visit of the Minister of Health, Dr. Joe Phaahla, and also that media briefing that is scheduled to take place at 1 o'clock this afternoon, where the Premier of the Western Cape, as well as various other role players, will be giving a collective update with regards to the situation here at the site. And also we understand that the Minister of Health will be doing some visits at the various hospitals in the area to engage with whether it is the patients themselves or the caregivers in terms of the recovery of those that are hospitalized at this stage.
Yeah, absolutely. It was heartbreaking when the collapse happened. It's still incredibly difficult to watch as the hours tick by. Vanessa Poonah, for now, thanks very much indeed. Vanessa, watching all the different legs to that story as they continue to unfold. Speaking to us there live from George, where, of course, we're still very firmly fixed to watch each of the different angles around the story.